Hi, everybody, welcome into Sports Talk Chicago. My name's Jon Zaghloul. Great to have you here on BPOD TV, channel 59.3 in Roku. Big show for you today as we will preview the Bears and Browns game this weekend. Justin Fields gets his first start. We'll tell you all you need to know about him coming up in just a moment. Remember, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jon Z Sports, Facebook Jon Zaghloul. If you want to watch more clips from this show and special interviews, find us on YouTube at Sports Talk Chicago, or go to sportstalkchicago.com. And if you want to watch more shows from BPOD TV, my show and others, make sure you subscribe to the BPOD TV YouTube channel. Just search up VPOD TV. Before we start today, I have to tell you about State Farm agent Brian McDevitt. A lot of our listeners have gone to him for all their insurance needs. He's been very helpful in getting them the coverage they deserve. There's no game with Brian. He's just here to help and make sure you feel safe. So if you have insurance needs and you haven't called him yet, what are you waiting for? Dial up the number, 630-796-2662. That's 630-796-2662. Find him online at bryanismyagent.com. That's bryanismyagent.com. And make sure to mention Sports Talk Chicago. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Well, it's finally happening. The day Bears fans have all been waiting for is here. A new era starts today. Yeah, maybe I'm being overdramatic. Hell, it's just a quarterback, just another rookie that could turn out to be a bust. But in all seriousness, Justin Fields is a different talent. He is not Mitch Trubisky, X Grossman, Kyle Orton, Cade McNown. Cade McNown. He has real talent. He's proven. And to this day, as I've maintained since draft day, he has potential. He will be a quality NFL quarterback. I don't know about elite. I don't know about Patrick Mahomes-esque, but he will be quality. This is not a bust of a pick. And now this Sunday, we finally get to find out what he's made of. In a real start, taking first-team reps all week, practicing, this is the time to shine if you're Justin Fields. I will say, I didn't want him starting right away. I was one of the people who said, lay on the brakes a bit. Don't rush him. I mean, look what's happened to Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence. I called that, by the way. Lawrence has always been in a winning environment. Now look at him. 0-2, countless picks and mistakes. Bad coaching. Bad team. Mentally, that's going to take a toll on him. Zach Wilson, 4 picks, no touchdowns on Sunday. It's going to take a toll. That's why I didn't want Justin Fields starting. What if Justin Fields went out there through 4 picks, no touchdowns, 20 passer rating? Everyone would say, well, at least he learned, but I would say the opposite. Well, maybe he learned, but that's going to stick in his head. Why not nurture him? Slowly introduce him, then put him in when you're ready as a team. When you actually have receivers who, could catch the football. When you've mastered the running game, and you know your playbook. As Matt Nagy's scripted plays, Matt Nagy's unscripted plays are atrocious. Nevertheless, Justin Fields is going to play now. Last week, a 28 passer rating. The week before, 87.5, 38.2 in the year, but those are limited numbers. That could go up this week. And I'm very curious to see what he does. I will say this. Don't expect the best from Justin Fields. And that's not me knocking on him. I'm just being honest here. None of the rookie quarterbacks this year have done anything significant yet. And yes, I know it's only 2 games. I get it. But it's a fact. Can't be assuming Justin Fields, with this roster, mind you, is going to do something special. Remember, they're in Cleveland, they're away, and they're facing Baker Mayfield's had a good year so far, despite 2 picks and 1 touchdown. Leads the NFL, 80% of his passes are complete. That's unheard of. So the task, not easy. His team, Justin Fields, not ideal. When you have your number 1 wide receiver, Allen Robinson, dropping passes, that's a big problem. Especially for a rookie, you need someone you can depend on. Remember Jay Cutler? Even he had someone to depend on. Matt Forte, 101 catches. Whenever he was in trouble, he knew where to put the football. Now, who does Fields have? I'm not expecting a big-time fill up the stat book type game. I'm not. I think it's going to be a struggle, like all the other rookies we've seen. Like Lawrence and Wilson. Mac Jones even. Mac Jones might be winning, but that's not because of him. Patriots are carrying defensively and with the players around him. This is all going to be on Justin Fields. That's unfair, by the way, but it's the truth. There is not much around him to support him. And it's going to be up to him to get the job done. What I'm curious to see, how Matt Nagy calls plays and how the players respond. Who's going to be blamed if things don't go right? I may have a grudge about Mitch Trubisky, but let's be assured here, I'm going to take Fields' side if it's Matt Nagy. And it'll prove and vindicate everybody who said Mitch Trubisky was okay and that it was a Nagy problem. It's like I took Fields' side last week. You can't have all those drops. You just can't. That's unfeasible. When you make good competitive passes as a quarterback, you need something. You need some sort of help. You need somebody who has two hands could catch the football. And have all these balls dropping to the ground. That happens this week. I don't blame him. He makes bad decisions. Yeah, it's his fault. But it's also part of learning. I hope he would get better over time. Tell you what, this is a real test. Browns' defense is outstanding. Baker Mayfield's killing it. Now, I know Chubb is hurt, and that could help out at least defensively for the Bears. But you have to contain Baker Mayfield. You have to worry if you're Justin Fields about the defense. If Myles Garrett's coming at you, what are you going to do? Have a good pass rush. Still have Kareem Hunt, too, by the way. Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney. Denzel Ward. I mean, these are very quality players on their defense. This is a contender. Plain and simple, the Browns are a contender. So here's Justin Fields' chance. Here's the Bears' chance to gauge where they are. Are they at that level? I mean, I doubt it, but if they win, they could prove they are. How amazing of an upset would that be, too? Seriously. Go into Cleveland, home game facing Baker Mayfield, former number 1 pick, beat him. That'd make headlines. It'd be nice to see, too, and a big confidence boost for Fields. Because his counterparts right now don't have much confidence. Not their fault, they have nothing around them. Don't want that happening to Fields. The worst thing that could happen is 2 touchdowns, 4 picks, or 1 touchdown, 3 picks, and a loss. It's going to hurt him. I know everybody says he's tough, he's different, he's made for the big scene. Maybe he is. But I don't care who you are. If you have a performance like that, if you have no one helping you, it's gonna take a mental toll. Just yet. Anyone here tells me Trevor Lawrence is fine after these first 2 games, you're crazy. Bad coaching, tons of picks, 2 losses. No passing yards even. He is not even allowed to throw the ball a lot. I thought Trevor Lawrence was this generational talent who could take the ball in his hands and make plays. It's not looking like it. Not his fault, but still. This will take a toll on you. If it's a bad loss, it will hurt Fields. That's just a fact. I want to see what happens. There is one thing I want to address, though. So Matt Nagy came out and said, wait a minute, Andy Dalton is still our starting quarterback. When he comes back healthy, Andy Dalton will start. Why? And I know I supported Dalton starting originally. Why make that comment? I'm not a believer of guys losing jobs because of injuries. I don't like that, but unfortunately, that's the reality of the business. Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe, Wally Pipp, Lou Gehrig. Wally Pipp's a Yankee legend. Got hurt. Gehrig came in. Rest is history. What are you going to do? Have Lou Gehrig play crazy, then say, Lou, you're done. Time to put back in Wally Pipp. No, you move Wally Pipp around, you take him out entirely, and that's it. There's someone better waiting. Same idea. Now, if Fields doesn't perform, different story. But if Fields could play adequate football, he could play average football. Andy Dalton-esque football or better. He is the player with more upside and more potential. You play him. That simple. It's like last year with Trubisky and Foles, same thing. Trubisky, in a contract year, younger, more upside, play him. Same thing here. Justin Fields, rookie, younger, needs to learn, needs reps, play him. If he's putting up 28 passer ratings in a full game, well, then we'll have a conversation. But if he's putting up similar numbers, better numbers than Andy Dalton, by merit, he should stay. I'm a big believer in meritocracy. I hate politics. I hate favoritism. If you prove to me you're a good football player, you play. If you show me you're a productive worker, you're going to work. I'm not going to fire you. Same idea. If Justin Fields proves by merit that he deserves to stay, he'll stay. And that's it. That's a stupid comment from Matt Nagy. And remember, it holds no ground. Last year, the Chargers said Tyrod Taylor's still our starter. Well, you know what? The fact of the matter is Justin Herbert played the rest of the year. Unfair? Maybe. But Justin Herbert put up good numbers. Keep him in. The Chargers made that statement. It didn't stand. Now, Nagy's pretty stubborn. Ego. Maybe what he's saying is actually true, and that'd be a joke. And it certainly wouldn't help his coaching and his record and his future here in Chicago. Remember, at the end of the day, Matt Nagy's here to develop Justin Fields. If he cannot demonstrate that he can develop him, bye-bye. And that's it. So it's a very interesting situation, to say the least. A lot of people's butts are on the line, too. For the rest of this year, I mean, this game won't prove everything, but it's going to make an impression. Is Matt Nagy the right coach for Justin Fields? Does Justin Fields work in Matt Nagy? Is Matt Nagy the right coach for Justin Fields? Will Justin Fields work in Matt Nagy's playbook? Can the Bears function with Fields at quarterback and not Dalton or Foles or anybody else? Is this a quarterback problem or a Matt Nagy problem? Will the Bears' O-line hold up against a good defense? Will their defense help out Fields, force some turnovers, and keep the field short? Will Justin Fields get enough chances to throw the football and not throw 10 or 11 times and that's it? Will the playbook be opened? Will he get a chance to throw the ball downfield and do what he wants to do and show off his talent? These are all big, looming questions in lieu of Sunday. A lot's going to be proven, a lot's going to be said, and a lot's going to be made of what happens. That's a fact. You know what they always say? First impressions are the most important. First impressions here are very important. If we see today, and Matt Nagy and Justin Fields don't click, it's not going to work the rest of the year. The Bears have never fired a coach mid-season, but if it doesn't work, I suggest you do it now. Nip it in the bud and move on, and find someone who will work with Justin Fields. Justin Fields is talented. So if it doesn't work here, we all know who the problem is. And that vindicates Mitch. That vindicates every other quarterback who's played under Matt Nagy. Many people forget this too. Matt Nagy was not the architect of the Chiefs. Contrary to popular belief, Andy Reid was. Andy Reid was the one who made Alex Smith an actual kind of gunslinger downfield, throwing 4,000 yards. That wasn't Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy's never developed a real quarterback yet. Not saying he won't do it. He has time. Here's his chance. This was his pick. Finally. Say what you want about Mitch. Whatever. It's over. This is his pick. Didn't inherit Fields. Didn't say, I don't want him. Didn't say, oh, I'll develop him, then abandon him. No. This is his pick. His baby. You want him to grow, you need to care for him. Regardless of all this, I don't see the Bears winning. Justin Fields may have a good game. I don't really see that either, but the Bears are not winning this game. It's not being a cynic. It's the fact that they're testing out a brand new quarterback on the road, and the Browns are a hell of a team. Even though Baker Mayfield has 2 picks, his passer rating is 101. Why? Great completion percentage. And to his credit, does a good job with not much. Odell Beckham Jr. is a shell of himself, and he got hurt. He has Jarvis Landry, whoop-de-doo, and Nick Chubb's hurt. It's not going to be easy. Baker still gets the job done. I do believe the Bears' defense will disrupt him, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a close game, and the Browns will come out on top. 21-17, the final score. That's my pick. It's going to be close. Going to be down to the wire. I think the last quarter, last possession, is really going to make a difference. Don't underestimate Baker Mayfield, Bears fans. I know to some he's a meme and he's a joke, and Browns fans even last year said, is he our franchise guy? Not a bad quarterback at all. Not at all. Very solid quarterback. He's going to come to play. No question. It's up to the Bears to contain him. And how will this O-line combat the Browns' defense and their pass rush? Another big question. And again, how will Justin Fields do in his first real start? Taking reps with the first team all week and knowing, having the mindset, hey, I'm starting this weekend. How am I going to do? Will anybody help him out? Will Matt Nagy get in his way? Will he be a hindrance or a helper? With all these questions and variables, just because of that alone, I don't see a Bears win. Might be competitive. Maybe things will go well. The Bears won't win. But that's okay. That's okay. What did we say before the season? 2021 is all about development. That's it. Plain and simple. Development. Developing Justin Fields so you know next year, wow, he's our franchise guy. He's going to do great. I don't care if the Bears go 6-11, 7-10, if there's growth from Fields. Justin Herbert last year had a hell of a year. Chargers sucked, but he did great. Looked amazing. They know he's our guy. What about here? That's what needs to happen. Justin Fields could throw for 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 10 picks. Great. We know that he's capable. You come back next year, full year, better team, then maybe you could contend. So even if the Bears lose, it's not a total loss. And I'm not a big moral victory guy, but I'm being serious here. Even if they lose, we can't be judging the game by win or loss. We have to judge it by, did they develop? Now, if it's a close game and they blow it, different story. But at the end of the day, did Justin Fields develop? Did we see progress? Do we see a potential franchise quarterback? If we do, I'm happy. If we don't, well, that's going to be a big problem. That'll do it for us here today on BPOD TV. Sports Talk Chicago will be back on Sunday night at 10:30. Remember, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jon Z Sports, Facebook Jon Zaghloul. If you want to watch more of this show, go to Sports Talk Chicago on YouTube and subscribe to the BPOD TV YouTube page by searching BPOD TV. So long, everyone.